Weekday morning, John Siegenthaler and Chris Jansing bring you the best of NBC News at just the right time. Morning Line, weekdays at 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
The undefeated all-time champ of late night. Here's Johnny Carson. I'm Jane Pauley, and this is Time and Again.
The following program is brought to you in living color. Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you.
This is Lowell Thomas in New York. The Beatles emerged off the
And go, my fellow Americans! I'm Chet Huntley, your host on...
We had 73 television cameras on Mayday Barrel.
President Nixon is actively...
And welcome to Time and Again. There's plenty of comedy to be found on late night television, what with Jay and Dave and Conan and the rest. But you can't get around the fact that someone is missing. That someone is Johnny Carson, who said goodnight for the last time on May 22nd, 1992, after an extraordinary 30 years as host of The Tonight Show. 30 years. No one else even comes close. Johnny had heart bypass surgery in March. We're happy to say he's recovering well, enjoying his retirement. He's been content to avoid the limelight since he left The Tonight Show. None of the usual showbiz song and dance, no comeback specials, theme restaurants, commercial endorsements. Johnny Carson is a class act. So, where's Johnny? Well, for the next hour, he's right here on this episode of Time and Again. We'll look back over Carson's remarkable career, hear from the man himself in a rare interview, and from longtime sidekicks Ed McMahon and Doc Severinsen. Let's begin in May 1992, just days before his farewell. Katie Couric profiled Johnny for Today.
From New York, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson.
We've seen him go from a boyish 36-year-old to a boyish 66-year-old. But even though he may have aged a bit, his act has never grown old with the American public.
Okay.
You may want to put this... He does the...
All over my very... Why don't you take this animal, Jim?
He first came to prominence at Channel 2 in Los Angeles in the early 50s.
The Johnny Carson Show. Now, tonight on the show, we've got so many exciting things happening. We've really got a lot of entertainment tonight. And to start things off right, as a special treat on our stage tonight, the very famous television star, radio and stage, Mr. George Burns. George?
Johnny was asked to replace Jack Parr on The Tonight Show. Believe it or not, he didn't want the job. But Johnny was finally persuaded to take the offer, and an American television dynasty was born. It all started October 1st, 1962, when Johnny was introduced by Groucho Marx. From that day on, Johnny was on top of the ratings and on top of the news. His monologues have made him a modern-day Will Rogers, the man America turns to for political humor.
The Watergate thing is driving everybody crazy. You watch the hearings all day today? It's interesting, I want to tell you. It's affecting everything. My wife wanted to go shopping this morning. I demanded a receipt for the grocery money.
By the time he does the show in the evening, he has seen the comedic way of translating the absurdities and sordidness of the front page of the paper into something funny, and just a day or two before the rest of the country realized, though.
Occasionally, Johnny had major political figures as guests. Richard Nixon in 1967.
And I think you ought to run for president.
Dr. Martin Luther King was on the show, and so was Bobby Kennedy. But most of the time, The Tonight Show has been strictly for laughs.
Now let me see if I got the facts straight here. Cleaning woman Clara Clifford discovered your clean copper clappers kept in a closet were copped by Claude Cooper, the kleptomaniac from Cleveland. Now, is that about it? One other thing. What's that? If I ever catch kleptomaniac Claude Cooper from Cleveland who copped my clean copper clappers from kept in the closet, yes, I'll clobber him.
Hi, honey, I left the office early. And have I got a surprise for you? I brought the Colonel home.
I've got a surprise for you. So did I.
Took out one girl. Ooh, was she fat.
That girl.
I
How fat? She was so fat her bathtub has stretch marks, okay?
That's a fat girl.
Fat chick, you kidding? When she was standing alone, a cop told her to break it up.
But Tonight Show producers say the show was best when everything went wrong.
Those are always my favorites. All the things that don't work. Because that's live, I mean, that's good television.
Just electric.
Very difficult challenge.
Yes, it certainly is.
Hello?
Just have to repeat sometimes?
No, he'll do it.
Oh.
Hello, Suze. Hello. Hello, Bird.
15 minutes.
Oh yes, the animal segments. For 30 years, The Tonight Show has been a kind of electronic zoo.
Name me one other place in this entire world of 4.5 billion people where a man is sitting with a marmoset on his head. And the odds of that happening, the possibilities stagger the mind.
If you turn sideways, it's cute how the tail is just...
Call the kitty.
Well, how do you call the kitty?
Kitty, 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 kitty.
You saw it here on this show, a bird calling a cat. That's a gutsy bird.
Put some more in there. Here, don't show him the bag. Put that right in there.
Like the animals, Johnny was all too happy to bite the hand that fed him. He took glee in spoofing the commercials that made the show such a goldmine.
Hi. Do you mind if I talk to you for just a minute? I just want to say a few words about diarrhea.
But even with all the comedy, Johnny's highest rated show was a wedding. 43 million people tuned in to see Tiny Tim marry Miss Vicky.
No one knew it would be a record-breaking thing. I didn't know at the time, let alone go to Australia by satellite.
Besides Tiny Tim, Johnny has also been host to stars ranging from Judy Garland, to the Jackson 5, to Diana Ross, to Itzhak Perlman. But another violinist was Johnny Carson's idol.
Jack Benny told him something, when it's your show and somebody else gets a laugh, it's as good as you getting a laugh.
Johnny, I'm going to say something. I'm very glad to be here. And I'm going to tell you, without me, your show tonight would have been nothing. You ever get the feeling that the world was a tuxedo and you were a pair of brown shoes?
A few years back, the man who holds the record as most frequent guest on the show sang his theme song with Johnny. It sounds rather fitting this week, doesn't it?
We did have fun and no harm done, so thanks for the memory. Sunburns at the shore, nights in Singapore. You might have had a headache, but you never were a bore, so thank you.
We'll have more on Johnny Carson's 1992 farewell a bit later. But when we come back, Johnny Speaks, a rare interview with NBC's Bryant Gumbel.
To really know the score in Washington, you got to know it from the inside.
Been there, done that.
To really analyze the big stories, it helps to have been part of one.
Been there, done that.
To really cover the hot topics of the day, you have to look at them from both sides.
Been there, done that.
Right, left. Get both sides of the day's biggest issues on equal time with Ollie North and Paul Bagala. Weeknights, 8 Eastern on MSNBC.
It's time I traveled lighter and threw away my maps and made up for the seriousness of my youth with a little madness.
When you're active, the last thing you want is the uncomfortable itch of dandruff. Introducing new Head & Shoulders Refresh. It helps prevent dandruff, and its refreshing mint formula feels cool and stimulating on the scalp. No regular shampoo can give you hair so refreshed and flake-free. New Head & Shoulders Refresh from the Head & Shoulders family. Our refreshing way to help prevent dandruff.
Start feeling connected. Stop feeling everything. Start feeling the road. Introducing Alero, featuring the Active Response System. 16 individual features working together to connect you to the road. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Why take a risk on a used car when the Bob Brady Automotive Group has certified used cars? That's right, certified. 150 items are checked and serviced before a car gets the Brady Certified Used Car approval. Take a look at this week's certified used car specials. Certified used cars, only from the Bob Brady Automotive Group, Decatur.
John William Carson was born in Corning, Iowa in the middle of the Roaring 20s. In 1933, his family moved to Norfolk, Nebraska. And from early on, Norfolk knew Johnny was showing signs of talent. He liked to perform magic tricks and billed himself as the Great Carsoni. He had a typical middle American adolescence, as attested to by these Carson family home movies circa 1940.
I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart and mind embraces all day through.
Directly after high school in 1943, he enlisted in the Navy and served out the war. When he returned home, he got interested in radio, and by the late 40s, he was a pioneer in a new medium called television.
This is WOW-TV, Omaha, Nebraska.
By Christmas Day 1950, the Korean War had been going on for 7 months. At WOW-TV in Omaha, he took time out for this holiday message.
The world's in quite a boxed-up situation. December, Christmas Day, 1950. We certainly hope that by next Christmas, in 1951, that peace on earth and goodwill toward men will certainly be the thing.
For Johnny Carson, the 1950s were a time of growing professional success. He moved to California, worked for Red Skelton, and he and his first wife started a family. When Johnny was welcomed to The Tonight Show in October 1962, he began the reign as King of Late Night that's lasted to this day.
Johnny Carson.
Over the years, the show has changed very little, and it has become a staple of American culture.
Is it true, John, that when you were first approached about doing Tonight on a regular basis, you weren't too crazy about the idea?
I turned it down. I was doing a show on ABC called Who Do You Trust? It went from 3 to 3:30 in the afternoon. It was the second show on the network, and time-wise. People forget in the 50s, television didn't go on until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're getting up now at, what, 2 in the morning?
Something like that.
To come to work. The shows didn't even start until 3. I think Dick Clark's American Bandstand out of Philadelphia was the first show on the network. There was nothing. There were no morning shows at all. So we started at 3:30 to 4. So I did that for 5 years. It was very comfortable. It was a comedy interview, you know, the little gimmick at the end. The gimmick was only there to get people. It was a reason for people to come on and make jokes.
Sure.
And, you know, win a cookie or something, and that was it. So when the initial offer came up to do The Tonight Show, I really was very hesitant. It was comfortable. It was an easy show to do. They were paying me very good money. And I said, why should I, you know, go in and try something else?
Were you at all concerned when you started that this was some kind of a watershed for your career, that if this didn't work, then Johnny Carson was in trouble, or if it did, then he was going to go on and become something else?
Yeah, I've often wondered what would have happened when I took over, for example, the Who Do You Trust show I mentioned in 1955 or 56. I was in California. I was out of work. I'd had a show on CBS. It went off the air. This show came up. I had 3 young kids living in California at that time, very small. And somebody said, you want to go to New York and do this game show? I've often wondered what would have happened if that hadn't worked. You know, if I'd have come back here in 13 weeks.
What kind of answers do you give yourself?
I haven't the slightest idea. I don't know what would have happened. I might have turned around and gone back to Omaha.
John, is it fair to say that you leave Johnny Carson at the door and you put on a different person when the band starts?
I don't know. Probably a different appearance only because I'm now performing in a sense. When I walk out, I'm the same person. I'm more outgoing on the air than I am when I'm off the air, from that standpoint. But many entertainers are, and especially those of us who deal in comedy.
Why do you think that is?
Well, there have been volumes written about that, you know, about why comedians are lonely, depressed, rejected, hostile within themselves. I'm not sure all of that is true. It's that old thing, you know, they said, well, you must be suffer, you know. Every comedian used to come from the Lower East Side. And if you weren't beaten with a jackhandle when you were young, you know, and chased by other groups and beaten up regularly, you couldn't be funny. I don't adhere to that philosophy. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know what makes somebody funny at all. I have no idea. It's just the way you look at things.
You just used a number of adjectives that are generally ascribed to you.
Yes.
When people talk of you. Does it bother you that people have that opinion of you?
Sometimes. I think the people who know me, my friends, know me. And I can't worry about what other people think.
Is that an opinion you've arrived at after years of living with this aura of Johnny Carson, or is that something that was...
No, I'm a shy person. I mean, some may first sound strange, but I am inside. I find large groups of people difficult to deal with. If I go in where there are 100 people in a room, I feel very uncomfortable. But I felt that way before I was ever on television, so that's nothing new to me. When you're young, people call that being standoffish or being conceited. They don't understand that you're uncomfortable. So I probably hide a lot of that personally, but that doesn't mean that you're hostile. It's you're cold and Ed McMahon says Carson packs a tight suitcase.
I read that.
I guess that means you keep your emotions and your personal feelings sometimes under check, and that's true.
He said you have difficulty showing your emotions.
Probably, yeah. Probably true. I think I'm better at it now than I was, but I think that's true.
So how does someone as shy as Johnny Carson thrive in the let-it-all-hang-out world of show business? Well, it helps if you can be someone else for a while, like Art Fern, Aunt Blabby, Floyd R. Turbo, or Karnak the Magnificent. We'll hear from them all when Time and Again continues.
OPEC. What does an Irish chicken do?
He specializes in treating cancer, and now he's diagnosed with it. See why this doctor says conventional medicine won't cure him. Weekend Magazine tonight, 11 Eastern on MSNBC.
I don't know if we'll ever find a place big enough, but I've always been into measurement. Inches, pikas, yards, doesn't matter. Is this place big enough? No.
Books, videos, DVDs, CDs, gifts, and now auctions. There's only one place big enough to hold Earth's biggest selection, Amazon.com.
The cubit. Now that's a unit of measure.
It's here. The award-winning 215 horsepower power plant. The more powerful, intrigue. Intrigue by Oldsmobile. Start to command performance. Start something. Folklore has it. The spices they cook with in the West Indies are aphrodisiacs. As if in a place like this, you need any help. Royal Caribbean, like no vacation on Earth.
At American Century, we've got some pretty impressive mutual funds to choose from, like our Ultra Fund or our Select Fund. What about Income and Growth and our Ginnie Mae Fund? Hey, don't forget our short-term government fund and our equity growth fund. Then there's our limited-term tax-free fund. And of course, there's our international growth fund. That's a lot of great-looking funds, not to mention a lot of great-looking guys.
Call us or your investment professional.
Let's talk about some of the people we've invited up here.
Yes, I noticed. This is almost embarrassing.
Let's start with the one behind me. Art Fern's Tea Time Movie.
Yeah.
How did it get started?
There was a guy out here years ago in California by the name of, I guess I could use the name, I say here in California, of course we're in New York, by the name of Charles Antel. He was on locally. He sold beauty cosmetics products. This is a mixture of a lot of people in California in the early days. Used car dealers, because in California, for some strange reason I've never been able to understand, people who own automobile agencies have to be on television.
Here at the Gut Hut, don't worry. If you got no credit, got no job, we don't care. Got a bad credit rating, we don't care. Got a prison record, we don't care. Don't expect to pay us, that's when we care. To get to the Gut Hut, you take the Hollywood Freeway, to the Harbor Freeway, to the Long Beach Freeway, drive till you come to Fork in the Road.
What about the guy over your shoulder, Karnak?
I did that originally, believe it or not. I did a show on CBS locally in 1952.
Aunt Blabby.
That again is a composite. I did a thing in WOW in Omaha. In fact, somebody found a sketch of something I did on Carson Cellar in the early 50s where I was playing, well, you know, men dressing up as women. It's been a staple since Shakespeare was around and before, Charlie's Aunt. My mother used to hate that when she'd see me do that. I guess she felt it, you know. Her son was just going over the blind. She says, no, Mother, you see, putting on a dress does not necessarily mean I have personal problems.
Did she come around?
What?
Did she come
finally,
around?
Okay. I don't think she's really ever come around with that.
Florida Art Turbo.
He just came out of, somebody had written a letter to some paper once, either the Daily News, you know, those letters to the editors, which are so funny. And it was I don't want to say typical, but it was kind of a rube who got everything a little bit out of sync. All American, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. There's even news in the morning. My wife gets up and starts watching Jane Pauley and Brian Gumble. This deprives me of my God-given right to watch Leave It to Beaver reruns.
What will it take to replace Johnny Carson?
See, anybody's expendable. I mean, I'm not saying that out of any false sense of humility.
Some are less expendable than others.
I remember when Parr did the show. Everybody says, nobody can replace Jack Parr. That's true. You know, Parr was Parr. Somebody else will come along and do the show. It happened to be me. If I leave the show, they'll say, all right, nobody can replace Johnny Carson. True to that extent, that they will do the show completely differently than I will.
What kind of person might it take to do that show successfully?
I think it takes basically somebody who is a comedian. The ones who've been successful at it, going back to the days of Jerry Lester, Ernie Kovacs, Parr, Steve Allen, have all been basically guys who think funny, I think. You can do a certain amount of writing and make observations about things. They have a comedic mind. I think it takes that.
Johnny Carson in 1983, talking about the kind of person it would take to replace him. 9 years later, NBC filled the bill with Jay Leno. Still to come, remembering The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon and Doc Severinsen look back. And Johnny's excellent farewell when Time and Again continues.
Is she or isn't she? She's done everything but say yes. The polls say she could win it all. What is Hillary waiting for? Monday at 9 on MSNBC.
Mud holes, dirt roads. Most people wouldn't think of driving through stuff like that. But then that's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive. It automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip, which means it does the thinking for you.
Sorry, mate. Guess I wasn't thinking.
Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Even though you might not know Delphi Automotive Systems, we're probably in your garage right now. You see, chances are we're in your vehicles, having developed the first car radio and production airbag, not to mention the future innovations that will revolutionize the way you drive. With 36 countries and growing, we're practically everywhere. Even though you may not see us. Delphi Automotive Systems, driving tomorrow's technology.
Bye, I'll call when I get there.
Bye, honey.
Bye, Karen.
Well, there she goes off to the big city.
It's just you and me now.
Got the tickets?
If
If you think a Walt Disney World vacation wouldn't be the same without the kids, you're absolutely right.
My poor parents. I don't know what they'll do now.
Call 1-407-WDisney and make your dream come true.
She's managing her time right down to the dime with Sprint. Because now it's just a dime a minute on calling card calls, on calls to your Sprint 800 number, and all calls from home. Call 1-8775-CONTACT and switch to Sprint. You can't control everything, but you can make the most of your time. Isn't that the point of Contact? Switch now for a dime every time. Call toll-free 1-8775-CONTACT.
At one time, very long ago, Johnny Carson was a struggling young comedian himself.
I don't know. If we made the bet, I'll pay it. You know me, Fred. But what are you calling a cheap crumb? I'll pay you the bet. Look, Fred, I thought we were kidding anyway. All right, if you want the dough, you can have it. All right, go ahead. Take it, Fred. I'll pay for the thing. Go ahead.
He did not forget his early days, and since he's been on The Tonight Show, he's boosted the careers of scores of young comedians. You know that guy, Jay Leno? This is him when he first appeared with Johnny in 1977.
Your mother and I hunted wild dogs for food. We had nothing when we were your age.
Check out Steve Martin, circa 1977.
Buddy Hackett's on the show. He's about 1,000,000 times funnier than I am. But tonight we're getting paid the same.
And when you think of George Carlin, you probably think of him like this. But do you remember him like this? This is Carlin on The Tonight Show in 1965.
I see the radar tonight is picking up a line of thunder showers which extends from a point 9 miles south-southeast of Chester, Pennsylvania, along a line and 6 miles either side of the line to a point 8 miles north-northeast of Secaucus, New Jersey. However, the radar is also picking up a squadron of Russian ICBM. So I wouldn't sweat the thunder shower.
Here's David Letterman in the late 70s.
I'm looking at this can, and it says on there, for the dog that suffers constipation. But, you know, the way I look at it, if your dog is constipated, why screw up a good thing, huh?
And when she first appeared on The Tonight Show in 1985, Roseanne Arnold was good old Roseanne Barr.
You know, because women, we lie to men all the time, you know. It's not that we mean to or anything. It's just that it takes too long to explain the truth. Yeah, so it's like, oh, you're the best lover I ever had. It's never been like this. Stop, stop, you're killing me.
Satellite loop shows a storm swirling in the southwest, but a more intense storm center swirling across the Great Lakes, causing showers and thunderstorms from Michigan all the way down to the Gulf Coast. As the maps go into motion, low pressure moves very slowly across the Great Lakes. That will bring showers and thunderstorms to the eastern seaboard tomorrow. It will be chilly tonight across the northern plains and balmy along the Gulf Coast. Warm temperatures across the Southland tomorrow with highs in the 80s.
Mad About You takes its final bow. America says goodbye to one of their favorite couples, Helen Hunt and Paul Reiser. Monday at 11 on MSNBC.
A 1999 Grand Caravan SE at HBR Automotive Superstore. It's got a few miles on it, but it's $1,000 less than the 1998 model for sale at the other dealer. And unlike the other places, the HBR Superstore has 20 of them in stock. 20! You pick the one you want and pay just $19,999. It's a 1999 and it's $1,000 less than the 1998 across town. That's how the pre-owned promise makes a real difference. HBR Automotive Superstore. HBR.
Why settle for a little of something you love when you can have a lot more? Order Showtime with TCI Digital Cable, and you get 2 channels of Showtime. That's more movies, more stars, more excitement. 24 hours a day. So, there's always something to watch. And best of all, it comes right through the cable you already have. Order TCI Digital Cable today and start getting more of what you want.
And now, something I've always wanted to say. Here's Ed.
Thank you, Katie.
How are you,
darling.
Ed?
Good to see you.
Nice
I'm fine.
to see you, too.
And I'll give you want a hi-oh?
I do.
Are you ready? Hi-oh!
Welcome back as we tip our Time and Again hat to Johnny Carson. Even though he retired from The Tonight Show in May 1992, his 30 years on the job made him the undefeated king of late night. And who was at his side through it all? You are correct, sir. Ed McMahon, television's ultimate second banana. Former carnival pitchman, U.S. Marine, radio and TV announcer, Ed was with Johnny from the beginning. His comic foil, always ready with a laugh. His nightly introduction became a TV trademark.
Here's Johnny.
John, let's talk about some of the people on the show. How would you characterize your relationship with Ed?
Good. Friends. Ed and I, October the 13th, will have worked together 25 years. He was with me on Who Do You Trust?
Who Do You Trust, sure.
I was brought to New York to, I can't say audition. I mean, I just came in to meet Mr. Carson. And as you know, I was once quoted by saying he packs a tight suitcase. And what I meant by that was he's a very frugal man, not financially, but about his time and his activities. And you don't know a great deal about him. You know you're close to him. You don't know a lot about him. And he and I talked to one another, and both of us were looking out the window of his office in the little theater, and they were putting up a marquee at the Schubert Theater, and it was a brand new marquee. It was getting away from the old little light marquees. It was a new thing for The Bells Are Ringing with Judy Holliday. And we were both watching them do this because it was like a whole new idea. That was our interview. It lasted 7 minutes. He hardly looked at me, said very little to me. And he shook my hand. He said, it was nice meeting you, Ed. I said, nice meeting you, Mr. Carson. That was it. I walked away. I figured, well, that's over. I blew that job, along with a lot of others I'd blown, but I figured that one I really blew. And about 4 weeks later, somebody called me and said, when you start on Monday. I said, what? They said, when you start on Monday, you know how you always hear these things, on the show, you got the job. And I came up and became his announcer, and then when he came to NBC on The Tonight Show, NBC didn't particularly want me, but he did, and fought for me, and then we started.
You relish the role of second banana.
I love it.
You don't make any apologies for it.
Not at all. From day one, I was very happy, and the only piece of advice I ever got, I went to Johnny the very first day. We'd worked together for 4 years on a daytime show, Who Do You Trust, that became very popular, and that's how he got, noticed and got the job. But I went to him on October 1st, 1962. I walked into his office, and he was right above the studio, and I said, how do you see my role down there tonight? He said, Ed, I don't know how I see my own role. Let's just go down and entertain the hell out of them.
How do you know when he's out there, when he thinks it isn't working? Even if the audience is laughing, he's displeased. Is there some little telltale sign?
Sure. Oh, yeah. I can tell his moods very, very easily, and I watch him, and if you notice when he works, he watches me. He constantly looks at me to get reactions to jokes or whatever. He always is looking over to see what I'm feeling or how I'm doing. And in those moments, I can see that, he wishes that was better, or he wish he hadn't said that, or why did he do that joke?
On May 22nd, 1992, Ed will end his Tonight Show career, and never again will we hear him say,
Here's Johnny.
Every night. You have done this for 30 years almost.
Right.
And now you're leaving. This has got to be a little like adolescence. It's like who am I if I'm not Ed McMahon?
Well, it's almost like another
show?
beginning for me. It will be, and will be for him too, I'm sure. But everybody I know, I say, watch it, because it's coming to a close, and there'll never be anything like it again. It'll never happen again. No other person in this business will ever last 30 years. We're going to go out. We won't go out like a lion. We'll go out like a lamb. We won't whimper, but we'll just kind of drift off into the sunset. He'll pick up his cup, I'll pick up my cup, and we'll just go right to the Smithsonian Institute. Instead of the figures that they have, we'll sit there. He'll have his desk, I'll have the chair, and we'll just wave to people as they go by.
Hi, David. What's your question for Ed?
My question is, what do you miss most about The Tonight Show?
Working with Johnny Carson, just having fun with him, playing with him. For 34 years we were together, and it's great to wake up in the morning and know that you're going to meet that man who's so clever, so talented, and very funny in all regards, and then just be sitting there like you and I are sitting with Johnny,
you know that's going to be very funny. Something's going to happen funny out of that, and I love that. That was a wonderful time.
He has pretty much just dropped out of the entertainment
he
scene.
won't do anything. He won't accept any awards.
He won't
He
do
turned down the
anything.
Emmy. They would invite him to come in for the 50th anniversary of the Emmys. He wouldn't do it. Turned down the Oscars every year. They want him to host the Oscars.
How come? He just...
I don't know. I thought for sure he'd do the Oscars. That's where he was headed. That was the perfect show for him. Remember, he did 5 nights a week? Then he took Mondays off. Then he started taking Tuesdays off. He was doing 3 days a week. Finally, the ultimate show is 1 day a year. You know, do the Oscars, and that's it. You know, that would have been a dream for him. You know, keep getting rid of shows and do the Oscars.
But no cigar. Is he happy?
He's very happy. He's got a boat. He loves his boat. He plays tennis a couple of days a week, and he is on his boat. He's very happy.
It's a good relationship because we understand, read each other very well. Most of the stuff we do at the desk when we're just fooling around, none of it's usually rehearsed. We'll stumble on something, and he'll pick up my mood and either start to put me down or play with it, and that's the way it works.
Ed McMahon may have been Johnny Carson's right-hand man, but to his left every night, the leader of the band. We'll hear from Doc Severinsen in just a moment.
This is the CNBC ticker, your connection to the latest stock quotes. On the upper band, real-time New York Stock Exchange information. On the lower band, Amex and NASDAQ trades. Green shows a stock moving up, red a stock moving down. Next to the stock symbol is the volume of the last trade, with the 2 zeros missing. In trades over 10,000 shares, the zeros are not omitted. The S stands for shares, followed by the price of the last trade and the change from the previous day's close. And that's the CNBC ticker. Profit from it.
I should have listened to my mother.
When you're lost, the accurate TL can help.
Destination on the left.
It's gotta be a place that's still open.
No.
Yes, there.
You're kidding. When a craving strikes, the TL can help. And when something comes between you and your destination, hospital, detour, the TL will get you there.
Keep right.
The 1999 TL with the satellite-linked navigation system from Acura.
Never before has so much technology and information been available to mankind. Never before has mankind been so utterly confused.
Imagine if you could harness all the creative energy here. Imagine if you could capture all the wisdom here. Imagine if you could feel all the spirit. Imagine if you could touch all the enthusiasm and all the hope. Life is full of energy, and Texaco is committed to finding it wherever it occurs to build a brighter future for all of us.
Nasty storm. Wet road. Looks pretty bad, huh? No problem. That's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive, the ultimate safety feature. Thanks, kid. See, it automatically transfers power from the wheels that slip to the wheels that grip. And only Subaru puts it on every car they make. And that's no accident. Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Next, the award for the best fanfare by a trumpet player on a TV variety show. The nominees are Robert Petroli, Jules Green, and Doc Severinsen. The winner is hung up. Doc Severinsen. Doc, we're all very thrilled and happy for you. Would you show the folks, if you will, please, the award-winning fanfare? Bet. All right. Wonderful. Fine, Doc, and now. Well, and now we have. Oh, give me your thing. Have it right in your bird there. Get out of here.
Doc Severinsen making music on The Today Show in 1970. When Johnny Carson began hosting The Tonight Show in 1962, Doc was assistant conductor. 5 years later, he became band leader, a job he held for the next 25 years.
Let me get this straight. Doc Severinsen, band leader, musician, classical player, we just find out, actor, even actor, I gather. What's
I don't know about that.
What's the real Doc Severinsen?
Maybe a little shy and quite a bit rebellious, I might add.
How many more years are you going to continue on the Carson Show, do you think?
Nobody knows that. I think if you'd ask Johnny, he would tell you very candidly that he doesn't know right now. But we've been there for a long time. People still like us, and we don't see a reason to leave right now.
That was 1986. The reason to leave would come 6 years later with Johnny Carson's retirement. NBC's Bob Costas later asked Doc if a day went by that he didn't think of that final week.
Well, if there's a day that goes by that I don't think of it, in that day somebody will remind me of it, usually traveling, because I think that it was a happening for everybody in this country. Everybody could identify with what was happening there. A lot of people grew up with The Tonight Show, and they sensed a part of the aging process for themselves, and it brought it home in a very personal way.
Everyone remembers Bette Midler on the second to last night. On the final night, there were no guests, and Johnny showed some clips and reminisced and said his goodbyes. But the last regular show, Bette and Robin Williams.
Right.
Is it true that she didn't rehearse the You Made Me Watch You bit? She just came out and did it?
The special material she had prepared on that song, she had rehearsed with her pianist.
Right, but not with you guys. Or?
No. And then she decided to sing Johnny's favorite song, which is Here's That Rainy Day. And her pianist was there, Ross Tompkins, our pianist, started filling in with her, and she started singing to Johnny, totally unbeknownst to anybody, and Johnny started singing back to her. And it was truly one of the great moments. And for all of us, where the emotions had been building for 6 months, and to have it come down to that, that was hard to do.
Was I'll Be Seeing You the last song you actually played?
I think it was.
It was one of Johnny's favorites. And Tony Bennett sang it earlier that same week, and then you, in effect, played him off with that, right?
Right. You know, over the years that we did this show, and especially as time went on, I tried to conjure up in my mind, what's it going to be like when we leave here? I mean, you know, this is not going to be the easiest thing. And I'd always thought, oh, maybe someday Johnny will be driving in from Malibu, the traffic will be a little thick, and he'll call NBC and say, hey, this is Johnny. I hope you got a good guest host, because I'm through, I'm not coming in anymore. Hang up the phone, and that would be it. I guess I was looking for the easy way out. And then he made the announcement, and it still wasn't real to us, because we had almost a year to go. And then you get to that last 6 months, and it started to just build. And there wasn't anything that prepared any of us for what happened. Like you get down to the last 2 weeks, and there were just raw nerves all over the place.
Was it ultimately satisfying in the end? Was the way it wound up, did it scratch all the itches for you?
Yes, and I think the main reason for that is that Johnny exercised good judgment as to when he wanted to leave. He had a lot more shows left in him. And the American public has made it clear that they miss Johnny and all of that. But Johnny said, nope. He said, I've always prided myself on my sense of timing. And he said, according to what I'm feeling, this is the time for us to leave.
He specializes in treating cancer, and now he's diagnosed with it. See why this doctor says conventional medicine won't cure him. Weekend Magazine, next on MSNBC. Every weekday morning, John Siegenthaler and Chris Jansing bring you the best of NBC News at just the right time. Morning Line, weekdays at 9 Eastern on MSNBC.
We started this business with a green thumb, a vivid imagination,
and a lot of hard work.
But before long, I could see we needed help, financial help.
So I called American Express Small Business Services.
They helped us with equipment financing so we could keep on growing.
And with the corporate card, we finally got a handle on expenses.
1-800-SUCCESS was the best call we ever made.
With American Express, we've learned what it's like to have a partner you can count on.
And a brother.
I found I was missing all sensation of sight. It was so dark underground, we had seen no light for days. What was visible, how there was the enemy. The fact that they were fighting against their better nature.
For those who combine a passion for living with a passion for living. The Volvo C70 convertible.
Why take a risk on a used car when the Bob Brady Automotive Group has certified used cars? That's right, certified. 150 items are checked and serviced before a car gets the Brady Certified Used Car approval. Take a look at this week's certified used car specials. Certified used cars, only from the Bob Brady Automotive Group, Decatur.
Start feeling connected. Stop feeling everything. Start feeling the road. Introducing Alero, featuring the active response system. 16 individual features working together to connect you to the road. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Johnny Carson asking to get off the Tonight Show is roughly equal to George Washington asking to get off the $1 bill, since one is about as familiar as the other, part of the American scenery. But Carson says he wants to leave. He has sat there and asked the questions for as long as he cares to. He wants to get out by this fall, he says.
After 17 years, I'm getting a little tired of it. I don't think I can bring anything new to it, and it gets a little tougher all the time to do it, and I want to keep the standard of the show up, and I feel if I go too long, I won't be able to do that.
Johnny Carson in 1979. Johnny stayed with The Tonight Show, of course, and he kept the standard up with a new contract that cut the show from 90 minutes to an hour. More than a decade later, Johnny decided it really was time to call it a night. His last show came on May 22nd, 1992, and earlier that evening on the nightly news, NBC's Keith Morrison took notice.
Today, his last day, he drove himself to work, like always. An intensely private man who, for the crowd, can always make light of it.
You didn't really believe that whole thing about my quitting, did you? It's a little rating stunts for sweeps period.
You believe all of this?
I don't.
It's funny, really. He never tried to be anybody's leader or excuse his famous foibles or take advantage of the stage he occupied.
You're sure you're in a good mood? You've been outside for 12 hours with a thermos of margaritas.
Anybody else want to have a sandwich delivered to you in line? No?
And yet, out on the sidewalks around his studio, day and night, people waited actually to pay homage.
We got here at 7:30 yesterday morning.
Right on.
From Canada.
Brooklyn, New York.
Johnny for president!
Johnny for prez!
We're going to see Johnny Carson, man.
Why?
We'll never be able to do it again. It's history. We're part of history.
And here was this growing crescendo of affection for a TV comedian.
Tonight Show.
Inside, they've been packing boxes because everybody goes with Johnny, and signing things, and chipping away at stacks of mail and gifts, and trying to figure out what they feel.
Let's see some of the old things coming in. Happiness is a dry martini. Book Johnny wrote years ago.
Old moments, which were bits of relief for a country. Omaha, Nebraska, he toyed with magic for a while. And maybe it was a kind of magic that kept the voice and gestures and gentle humor the same.
We hope a good many of you are enjoying Christmas with your families today. And you've exchanged presents already, probably had a very nice Christmas dinner. And
so now, said his friend and producer Fred DeCordova,
because we know that the door is kind of closing on a great chapter in television and on our lives.
It's terribly sad for everybody, for the people who work here, for the people who've been watching all these years. We're all going to miss him terribly.
There's too many emotions to go through.
And Johnny, who's a warm, wonderful man. He's been the best boss you could ask for, ever, ever.
Yesterday, as he left, the staff came by to watch, and nobody really had to say anything. And maybe that was why so shy and private a man could be the one continuing thread a country could hold on to. Or why a woman could sing this way.
Well, that's how it goes. And John, I know you're getting anxious to close. So thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind me bending your ear. For all of the years, for the laughs, for the tears, for the class that you showed. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. That long, long road.
And tonight, he'll say goodbye.
We'll have Johnny's goodbye and a special treat from the archives when Time and Again continues.
Wade ashore with the real heroes of D-Day. Hear the historic speeches of JFK and hang out with an American icon on MSNBC's website at timeandagain.msnbc.com. He specializes in treating cancer, and now he's diagnosed with it. See why this doctor says conventional medicine won't cure him. Weekend Magazine next on MSNBC.
If you looked into your local carrier's phone lines, what time period would they place your company in? Why live in the past when local's future is right through here? On Net, where local, national, and global all flow over one network owned by one company. Oh, and did I mention it'll save you money? On Net from MCI WorldCom.
Want to jazz up your next project? Try Krylon Spray Paint. It's the fastest way to smooth. Krylon, for the perfect finish, start here.
You can buy a Gateway PC for $999, or you can buy a PC from a bargain basement company for $499. Then add a monitor, lots of software, 24/7 tech support, a year on the internet, and end up paying over $1,200. With Gateway, you'll get all that, and you still end up paying $999. Which one's the real bargain? Call 1-800-GATEWAY for a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron processor.
Now, lower your score, drive longer, hit straighter with Golf Digest. Call now for your risk-free trial issue. If you like it, get 11 more, 12 in all for $19.97. Plus this stroke-saving video free. Call 800-391-0707.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Any show that's immediate and spontaneous and live pretty well gives you an impression of what kind of person it is. I don't think you can hide much. I remember when I went to do the show and replaced Jack Parr. I was intimidated.
Ed goes with me as the announcer on the show, so
I don't know what makes somebody funny at all. I have no idea. It's just the way you look at things.
And I'll be right back just a second.
Jim! Joe's bought the farm. He's cashing his chips. Kick the bucket. He's deceased, departed, hard as a carp.
What you try to do is to keep from boring people. You have to keep that little edge.
Don't care. Don't expect to pay us. That's when we care. You can tell what an exciting vacation I had. When you sit around just watching hair grow, you get to keep the wardrobe, too,
I
huh?
take all the things home, everything home. I never make a pirate picture.
If your guest looks bad, the show looks bad. You want the guest to be good. You want to get something out of them. The government's a great source of comedy material.
President Carter just asked Amy if we should scrap the MX missile system.
Anybody's expendable. When Parr did the show, everybody says, nobody can replace Jack Parr. That's true. They'll say, all right, nobody can replace Johnny Carson. True to that extent, that they will do the show completely different.
And so it has come to this. I am one of the lucky people in the world. I found something I always wanted to do, and I have enjoyed every single minute of it. I want to thank the gentlemen who've shared this stage with me for 30 years, Mr. Ed McMahon, Mr. Doc Severinsen, and you people watching. I can only tell you that it has been an honor and a privilege to come into your homes all these years and entertain you. And I hope when I find something that I want to do and I think you will like and come back, that you'll be as gracious inviting me into your home as you have been. I bid you a very heartfelt good night.
Johnny Carson gave America a laugh before it went to bed for 30 years, under 7 presidents. But the night he said goodbye, no one was laughing. His exit, low-key, classy, heartfelt, reminded people how much they would miss him once he was gone. We'll leave you with another reminder that's good for a laugh. Johnny Carson trying out a few moves on Joey Heatherton, dance moves, in 1965. That's Time and Again for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jane Pauley, and we're history.
What is the Watusi?
The Watusi.
There, a Watusi? Is that a dance? No, I'm not ready for that. This is the way we use the jitterbug.
Square.
Ready? What do you mean square? Ready? Go.
If I had to do it all over again, I'd probably make the same mistakes and do it the same way.
Damn good, too.
Thanks.
MSNBC is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.